All right, everybody, welcome back. I'm really excited about this deep dive because we're tackling a pretty hot topic, regulations.
Oh, yeah.
Do they help or do they actually hold back innovation?
Big question.
We're going to try to get to the bottom of it. We've got some seriously interesting stuff to look at from Elon Musk on this. He's never been one to shy away from speaking his mind.
He does not hold back.
Let's just dive right in.
All right.
So this guy, he's leading Tesla, SpaceX, companies pushing the limits of what's possible.
Really pushing the boundary.
And he's saying over and over that too many regulations are actually like kryptonite to innovation.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you think, right? Because he's not just talking. He's living it.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes his perspective so valuable here. He's got skin in the game. These aren't just theoretical arguments for him.
Exactly.
He's dealing with these roadblocks firsthand.
He even went as far as saying America's being like smothered under mountains of regulations.
Strong words.
Super strong. Is he exaggerating or is there something real to worry about there?
Well, I mean, it sounds pretty dramatic at first.
Right, yeah.
But Musk actually points to SpaceX specifically, and he gives examples.
Oh, interesting.
About how all these regulations slowed them down.
Yeah.
Like pushing back critical tests and launches. And when you think about it, that's not just a minor inconvenience.
Right.
That's time lost. It's resources that could have been put into actually innovating.
Absolutely. And like he said, every minute you spend on compliance is a minute you're not creating something new.
Exactly. You got to think, what could they have achieved if they didn't have to deal with all that red tape?
The huge question.
And it goes beyond just the immediate costs, right? It's about the potential.
Right.
Like all the innovations that never even get a chance because companies are just drowning in paperwork and rules.
Yeah.
Economists actually have a term for this. Opportunity cost.
Oh, yeah.
What are we missing out on? That's the question.
So then you think about the early days of companies like Uber, Lyft, even Airbnb.
Yeah, great examples.
Totally shaking things up. But was that even possible? Because there weren't clear regulations in the beginning. Like, did they slip through the cracks?
It makes you wonder, right? They definitely existed in a kind of regulatory gray area.
For sure.
And then they just blew up, became
No.
super popular. So did regulations eventually catch up and maybe even stifle their growth?
Interesting.
Or did they actually end up helping, bringing in some needed consumer protections? It's a tough balance to strike.
It really is. And Musk seems to think it's a super slippery slope.
Yeah.
He even said if we keep going down this path, every great endeavor will essentially be illegal.
Wow.
Is that hyperbole or is there a real point there?
I mean, he's definitely being dramatic.
A little bit, yeah.
But I think the core message is really important.
Okay.
If innovating becomes too risky, too expensive because of all these regulations, people are just going to stop trying.
It makes sense.
Right. It's not hard to imagine talented people
Right.
taking their ideas to places where the rules are more relaxed.
Oh, interesting.
Like a brain drain, but for innovation.
That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
Once these regulations are in place, it's not like they just magically disappear.
Right. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Musk talks about regulations having this like natural bias to stick around forever.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so hard to just get rid of outdated rules?
It's a bit like trying to push a boulder uphill. There's just so much inertia. Regulations are there for a reason, right? At least initially.
Yeah.
But even when that reason is gone, maybe things have changed. It's a whole other fight to get them removed.
That makes sense.
So it's no surprise that the number of regulations just keeps growing.
Right.
And that can be a problem for innovation in the long run.
Musk really thinks we need to turn this whole thing around.
Yeah.
Make it easier to actually remove rules that don't make sense anymore, create an environment that's more dynamic. And this actually connects to a bigger point he makes about freedom in general.
Oh, okay.
He says, the bigger the government gets, the less individual freedom people have.
That's interesting.
What do you think about that idea?
I mean, it's a thought-provoking statement. He's basically arguing that a government that's too big, too involved with all these regulations is actually restricting people's freedom to do things, to experiment, to take risks.
Nah.
And, that ties back to his whole point about innovation. It thrives when individuals have the freedom to push those boundaries.
So for everyone listening, what's the takeaway here for you? Is it even possible to encourage innovation while still making sure things are done responsibly?
It's a complex issue. It's definitely something to think about. What do you think about the impact of regulations in your own work, your own life? That's something I'd love for you all to keep considering. And that's all the time we have for this deep dive.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
See ya.